I just drove through almost zero visibility and deep fog created by Lake Crowley. Now I'm out of the fog. It doesn't take very much elevation gain to get out of the fog. And I'm on this old kind of McGee Pass road. There's some giant potholes on this McGee road. Kinda gotta drive slow on it despite it being paved. Hey guys, we are at the McGee Pass trailhead today. So, you are here. We are going all the way to Big McGee Lake today. It's about 7.5 miles and about 3,000 feet of elevation gain. Good morning, it's early. I'm heading into the High Sierra again. This time I'm going up McGee Pass. Never been to this part of the Sierra before. We're gonna be doing a lot of like cross-country passes. As you can probably tell, I am not acclimated to the altitude. What a gorgeous place right out the gate. Heading that direction. Might see a couple hikers up ahead. It is cold and chilly this morning. Forecast I have is for a week of slightly lower than normal temperatures in the Sierra for late September. Got that morning sun warming me up now. Oh, that's a real mud bog I'm walking through. Oh. Here we go. I'm getting some fall colors already. I think the views on this trip are going to be magnificent. McGee Creek down there. Hopefully we're gonna cross it soon. Back in shadow. A little bit chilly. I believe this is what guidebook author Elizabeth Wenck calls an aspen forest. So I must be on the right path. You can cross here, keep your feet dry. McGee Creek. Wonderful red and white formations out here. Stepped off the trail for a sec because I wanted to check out McGee Creek. It's a raging river. We're gonna have to cross this 2 or 3 times, I believe. Yeah, that's a lot of water. Hopefully the bridges aren't out. Okay, we are meeting up with McGee Creek. We'll soon be crossing, I believe. So it's not that bad over here. I could probably ford this, no problem. Probably knee deep. Okay guys, this is the part that's confusing. I actually don't know which way is the right way. There's 2 forks and it's not marked. I'm gonna take the right-hand direction because it's the most direct path, and we're gonna see how the crossing of McGee Creek is over there. I really have no idea. There's supposed to be a horse pathway and a hiker way, but it's not marked. So it's narrow and graded like a hiking trail. I think I might have picked the right direction. Okay, looks like I picked the right way, but this might... Oh, check this out. kind of a little head wall that you climb up around. Boulders. Got a little bridge over here. Water's deep. It's kind of a rickety old bridge. McGee Creek. Yeah, I bet the horses actually enjoy cooling their legs off in this water, as I think that's what happens with the stock, is they just walk through that deep water right there. Okay, I think we're gonna climb this head wall that's right next to me here. And then we're gonna really start climbing up into high altitude, get above timberline almost. Really appreciating the shade now. I could almost hear a pin drop right now. I'm gonna climb steeply now. This is just a side creek. With a lopsided bridge. I don't think we need to cross McGee Creek anymore for today. Pretty much should be able to keep my feet dry. Way cool. Waterfall over here. McGee Creek way down there. We are steadily climbing quite a bit. Wow, big old waterfall. Kind of hidden by those boulders. I'm on the first set of big switchbacks, I think. I think there's two sets of these. These are these switchbacks up here. They keep going. A lot of them. Directly ahead is where McGee Lake is about a mile that way, or maybe a little over a mile. That's looking back the way it came from. Almost there. This is looking back down towards the trailhead, towards Bishop and Tully Lake. Lots of big clouds forming out there. We'll see. Today had the highest chances of thunderstorms. We'll see if that happens. All right, let's finish this climb up to Big McGee Lake. I realize I'm actually circumnavigating the lake currently. I'm actually really close to it. But I gotta go around to the southwest side, because if you see straight ahead here, somewhere over there is Hopkins Pass. And I'm planning to hike over that tomorrow. Well, here's Big McGee Lake. I am gonna try to camp over there on those cliffs. Hopkins Pass is somewhere right over there, but unfortunately I have to keep climbing to get around the lake through this bouldery mess. Thankfully there is a trail right now. But it keeps climbing. At least the views are awesome. I see a spur trail here right behind me, and I think that's where I diverge and go around to Big McGee Lake. This way is to McGee Pass, I believe. So I'm gonna head this way, I think. All right, let's make our way down to Big McGee Lake. I'm pretty sure that this is the route that gets you to Hopkins Pass but I'm trying to figure out where to cross these rocks at here. If I'm close to camping, I do not want to get my feet wet if I can help it. Okay. It doesn't really qualify as a trail at all, but I'm gonna walk up through here and probably camp in these trees and make my way down to the lake to get water. I found a campsite just through those trees there. I'm on the far south side of McGee Lake now. I don't think I'm gonna go down to the lake because I found water close to my campsite, and this is fresh snow melt coming down from the area where I'm gonna be hiking up tomorrow. It's really thin amount of water, but I could definitely collect water from right here, no problem. I mean, this is probably better than lake water. So, yeah, this is where I'm getting water. And that direction, up through there, that's where we're going tomorrow, up to Hopkins Pass. Oh boy, does she look tough. Now let's go make camp. It's only just after 1:30. I found perfect spot. Just right here. A couple of flat spots. Stunted trees all around. Fairly lightning safe in case it storms. What a beautiful spot. Amazing. My route goes up there tomorrow. Camp setup for night one, and went down and got some water. And coming from down from Hopkins Pass this way, there were two people. I kind of saw them like over in this area. They had a couple dogs, and that told me very quickly that Hopkins Pass is going to be fine if dogs can do it. But the weather's changed suddenly. Today was going to be the day with the highest chances of rain on the whole trip, I believe, so I'm not too worried about it. My camp's just through those trees there. I thought it'd be cool to see Big McGee Lake when a storm comes in. Yep, I am cooking in my rain jacket. So I'm gonna start, have a little starter, have some soup, and then we're gonna go to our main course, the buffalo mac and cheese. Filled her to the brim there, didn't we? Thing almost boiled over. Oh, is it gonna storm? Please don't storm again. Hey guys, today's hike was awesome. One of the most scenic day one hikes of any backpacking trip I've ever done. It's a good start, If not for the rain, it would be almost like a perfect hiking day. I'm gonna go finish my dinner and get to bed. Getting up early. See you guys tomorrow. Good morning. I know I probably look a little goofy. It got really cold last night, so I put on all my insulating layers. I'm just making this right now. Mountain House. These are the high calorie ones. Today's gonna be one of the longer hiking days of the trip. I got my coffee on. So yeah, last night was pretty quiet. It was a pretty awesome night. The stars came out. So much better than storms. Going up Hopkins, down into the Mono Basin, and then up to Laurel Lake today. That's kind of what I'm planning to do here. It's a little over 9 miles. So I'd like to get out of here early because it's going to be a lot of steep climbing up to Laurel Lake. So I'm expecting clear conditions today, the whole day though, so that'll be nice. Guys, I'm about to dig into a calorie bomb, 900 calories of biscuits and gravy. This one's delicious. When I saw that they were selling these again, like the classic ones that are high calories, I had to just splurge and get a few. They're really expensive now. Like Mountain House used to be like $6, and it's just gotten out of control. Just like everything else, of course, is just insanely expensive now. These were like 15, 16 bucks? I don't remember. They were a lot. And I think I even got them on sale. It's wild. Time to hike. So I'm gonna descend a bunch, I think around 9,000 feet-ish, and then go way back up to the same elevation I'm at right now, about 10,500. It's gonna be a lot of climbing. This is probably gonna be like the hardest day of the trip, I imagine. So here I go. I told you. I told you there was a route. This is a straight up trail. This is great. You hear these marbots squeaking every now and then. It's kind of like they're making fun of all the hikers. Whew. It may be a trail, but it's real tough. It's practically a cross-country route. This is tough. This climb's really fast. I'm surprised how quick I'm getting up this. It's not easy though. Guys, fall is happening here in the Sierra. It's turning. Whew. Little cotton balls. It's a little bit bushwhacky. All right. We're in it. Hopkins is way up there. Hopkins Pass is dead ahead, where that ice cornice is. This is the McGee Creek Basin. All right. Check this out. So the route goes right there, and it goes up. Somewhere there's switchbacks up there. It goes all the way up past that cornice. That's Hopkins Pass. Second set of switchbacks, I think. Yeah. Wow. What a cool hike. That is McGee Pass right up there. Well, let's keep going. I guess we got a little bit of scrambling work to deal with here. Where to next? Okay, I've come to a flat spot before the last set of switchbacks and the final crux to the top, right up there. Holy cow. This last part just goes straight up the mountain. Whew. and it's muddy. So not the best footing ever. All that rain last night made this all muddy. That's looking down where I came from. That's the Crux going down right there. It's very steep, very muddy and loose. Whew. That was a workout. And I'm not done climbing yet. I'm gonna go up that way. But here's the cornice. So we're nearly up it. Not much of a cornice, is it? Okay, we are atop Hopkins Pass. And now we'll look down into the basin. Mono Creek down there. Okay, this is super cool. So I'm on top of Hopkins Pass. And this is all that I traversed up from. You can't really see very much of the route at all. It's kind of clipped out from here. There's the McGee Creek drainage out yonder. And this striking cliff face. That's super cool. So here's the way we're gonna go down into the Mono Creek Basin. There's not really a trail here, even though there's one shown on the map. Not really a trail per se. It's more of a route down. I don't know, maybe there's a trail somewhere, but I haven't found one. I found a pretty good walking corridor though. Okay, I guess you could call this a trail. It's something like one. Nobody out here. Okay, I think I found the trail finally. It's barely discernible, but yeah, here's a fall line down here I can follow. And yeah, I'll finally get into the lower part of the basin, and it should not be a problem navigating my way out down to Mono Creek. I have to walk so slow, it's so steep going down this, guys. It's very sandy, like loose and sandy. I'm just doing kind of lazy cross-country hiking. There was a trail for a while and then it disappeared. I don't know. I'm just making my own way. Looks like I go this way. Can't see any other way to go. Trail is in better condition for the moment. Guys, check out the lower part part of this Hopkins Basin. The route has been a bit of a pain, but seems like the lower I get, the better the trail gets. We are dropping a lot of elevation before ascending back up to Laurel Lake. This is interesting. It's a whole long section of Blowdown. Huh. Thankfully the trail is bypassed around it. There's a better look over there. Weird. This is bad through here. I'm wondering if the trail was rerouted somewhere and I just don't know. I'm thinking that's the case because this is pretty bad. Yeah. I gotta bypass all this blowdown crap. Part is not very enjoyable. Weird. Wonder what caused this. Oh, that's it? I thought this was going to be a trail junction. Dang it. What a mess. Trail is somewhere in this area. This is bad, guys. That was awful. I don't know if I'm in the right place, but my map shows that I am. I gotta cross the creek. Oh my gosh, there's more of this debris up here, I think. This is really slowing me down a lot. This is like surreal and not fun at all. I don't know what else to do than get through this. bushwhacking through that damned like blowdown forest. That was a huge section of trail. And I think it had been diverted up high and I just didn't find it. And so I found myself bushwhacking through that horrible, horrible stuff. So that added almost half an hour onto today's hike. Man, that sucks. But I'm on the trail now and it's in good shape so far. So I'm almost down to the Mono Creek. Hopkins Lake Trail. I'm guessing my way is this way. I have to consult the map for a bit. The first half of day 2 is over. Told you guys this would probably be the hardest day of the trip. I'm gonna keep heading down into the basin. I think we're bottoming out around 8,700 feet altitude. Laurel Lake is at 10,500, same as Big McGee Lake. So I gotta do a huge climb now. Okay, I think this is Mono Creek. I'll try to keep my feet dry here. Alright, finally in the Mono Creek drainage. Big views opening up. Okay, Laurel Lake, 3.5 miles is a lot longer than, my map says like 2 miles up, so we'll see. Hey, I think this out here is the second recess. This valley kind of pointing out right now. This is brutal. This is about as steep as the Merriam Lake Trail. It's like 1,000 feet a mile of elevation gain. Views are lovely, but man, this hike is tough. It just goes straight up. I gained a lot of elevation and not very much distance. It probably doesn't look that steep on camera, but yep, it's not gonna hike itself. trail decided to level out for a little bit. We still got elevation to gain. I'm still going to be going uphill, but this is no big deal right now. Yeah. Part of me is tempted to just camp in this area just because of this beautiful waterfall over here. But I got mileage to make. Wow. Crazy view. So it's kind of become cross country now. A little bit. This is Laurel Creek. I'm gonna cross it here. Yeah. Not as fun as it looked at first. There you go. We have a trail again. Starting to lose my sun here. About a mile from Laurel Lake. We continue climbing. About another 300 or 400 feet to climb. It's interesting, we're getting like these nasty like crummulch trees. And I wonder what that's about because we're not that high up. Guys, this is epic. You know, the lighting is bad right now, but this is pretty amazing. I was very tempted to set up a site in this basin, but I thought I'm very close to Laurel Lake. So I'm only a couple thousand feet out, I think. It's kind of a cool little canyon in here. I think Laurel Lake is just over that small head wall I'll have to climb. All right, I made it to Laurel Lake. Probably just camp here. Awesome. All right, camp is set up at Laurel Lake. It's cold over here. So I can see where I'm going tomorrow, eventually. That up there is Bighorn Pass, I believe. That's going to be a gnarly climb tomorrow. Hey guys, I am pooped. Wasn't even that many miles, I think. Oh, this is what I wanted to mention. My map, like in CalTopo and like the paper maps that I had, said that this full day would be about 9 miles. But what I recorded on my GPS was like 11 miles. I think that accounts for like the switchbacks. So yeah, I'm ready for dinner. That's all I got for day 2. See you guys tomorrow. Good morning, it's day 3. There's Laurel Lake right there, and then there's kind of a head wall around the lake, and that's the part I'm going to try to climb today. Above there is Grinnell Lake, and I'm going to contour around, eventually make my way up around to Bighorn Pass, and eventually make my way to Shout of Relief Pass. Once I'm over Shout of Relief Pass, it should be a shout of relief. And I'm going to descend into a lakes basin and camp at one of the lakes down there, maybe Cotton Lake, maybe Tully Lake. I don't know. We'll play that part by ear. This is all cross country. So it's only somewhere between 5 and 6 miles, I believe, this route. Contouring the lake shore of Laurel Lake. And make our way over to that spot that's kind of right in the middle of the camera frame. Okay, change of plans. I was gonna head up right there, but now that I'm seeing my original idea, it doesn't look that bad to head up that way, right there. So that's kind of the lower part of Grinnell Lake. So I'm gonna head up that way and then follow this high country around back to Bighorn Pass up there. Kind of a swampy area over here. Let's see if I can jump this. Oh, there's some wide stringers over there. I might not be able to jump. Let's see. Might have to get my feet wet to get over on this other side. We'll see. I should have just crossed by from where my campsite was. There's some little ducks this morning over here. Yeah, this is kind of wide. Yeah, shoot. Well, I ended up getting my feet wet over there. There was really no way to cross those stringers. I tried to jump and I slipped into some mud and my shoes went right into the drink. But no big deal. I got all day for my shoes to dry out. And that's where I camped yesterday. Well, that was kind of pointless to go around the lake. Well, I tried to go up here. We'll see what happens. Looking back towards the Mono Basin that way. Should just be able to see Laurel Lake down there where I camped. I feel like I'm about a third to a half of the way up to Grinnell Lake. Dead ahead there is Bighorn Pass. I'm going to go over that later today. Alright, so I'm heading up what I think is like a chute up here. On the other side of that is Grinnell Lake. You can almost see a line going straight up through here. I'm going to try to follow that and make my way up through there. I'm gonna head for that little opening right there. And just around the bend from it is the lake. That's looking back. I had to do some scrambling, a little bit. Easy scrambling to get up here. I'm on the ridge between Laurel and Grinnell Lake. So yesterday I was hiking on the other side of that canyon wall. Let's see if I can make it down to Grinnell Lake from here. Hopefully it's not all clipped out. Oh yeah, I should be able to make it down this. That's part of Grinnell Lake. And wow, there's a lot of nice campsites over here. That's what I just descended down. That side was pretty easy. It looks like we have a fairly easy walk down to the lake. I'm just going to be kind of contouring around this country here, just around the lakeshore, pretty much. This is the lower part of Grinnell Lake. Let's go over to the upper one. That's Grinnell Lake over there. I'm going to stay a little bit up high for the ease of route finding. Alright, Grinnell Lake. So I noticed, I was originally going to contour the lakeside, but I'm seeing tons of kind of house-sized boulders over there that I'm probably not going to be able to get around. So I am going to go up on this bench here. Yeah, it looks like I made the right decision. back next to Grinnell Lake. I'm up high from it though. I'm actually having to go down and then back up again. So I'm gonna have to go down there and then back up, and somewhere over there I'm gonna start turning left. Okay, I'm leaving Grinnell Lake, heading towards the approach to Bighorn Pass now. So we're right at the base of the big red and white mountain. And we're heading up. So that's looking behind where I just came from. Kind of came through there. This is kind of complicated current country, just full of granite boulders that you have to traverse. But man, are the views worth it. So I climbed up high, and I gotta scramble my way down there because I had to go down there and work my way across down to the very bottom right there, and that's the start of the Bighorn climb up that way. It's better than it looks, I think. You can't really see the full route from here. Whew. Bighorn Pass, straight ahead. That's gonna be rough. Well, I think that's the route up. That's looking insanely steep. Hey, down there is Laurel Lake, where I camped last night. You can't really see it from here. It's just a small tarn. Grinnell Lake is behind that cliff right there. And so I came through here and went down there and made my way up this way. This is extremely steep, so it's gonna take me a long time. But yeah, let's keep going. Now you can see Laurel Lake down there. I'm about maybe a third, halfway up this, I don't know. Almost to the top, I think. Right up there. Okay, I'm on Bighorn Pass. Wow, that was tough. You can see the Mono Creek drainage down there. That's Laurel Lake down there where I camped. Grinnell Lake is out there, you can't really see it. But yeah, let's spin around. Here's these awesome spires. And I'm starting to get a little intimidated. I just saw what's on the other side and it's looking really tough. So I gotta find a way down. And the high route book says drop about 75 feet elevation, and then there should be kind of a route that develops. But man, I don't know. I think maybe I could go down right there. This is Rosy Finch Lake right here. But yeah, I'm gonna probably go down here. I need to get to Shadow Relief Pass, which is way over there. I'm not seeing a very easy way to get through there. I might have to drop down. So. Okay, I've been descending for a little bit. It's very slow going because it's in the boulders. So kind of just making my way down. Originally, my plan was to contour across all this, but I don't like the look of it. I really don't. You know, I'm out here solo. I got to be careful with how I plan my routes. So Shadow Relief Pass is over that rise there. So I think what I might do is just go ahead and drop down to Rosy Finch Lake right here. Okay, it's not looking as bad. I think I can make a route up through there and go up this headwall thing and over the other side. Hopefully that'll get me to Shadow Relief Pass. If not, I gotta go back down. Guys, I decided it wasn't going to work. I almost hurt myself pretty bad trying to traverse a bunch of boulders. So I decided I'll make the really steep descent down to Rosy Finch Lake. Ooh, to try to go over Shadow Relief from a different direction. So here's what I'm hiking. There might be another way up Shadow Relief that way or up that way. So we'll see. But I'm going to go down this very steep section down to Rosy Finch Lake. That'll be a relief to be off of this. Shadow Relief Pass is up that direction. So it came down from there. That was rough. And the boulders I was in earlier are way up that way. I was just gonna have to traverse this whole big headwall thing. Okay, this is Rosy Finch Lake. I'm gonna try to get around it. Okay, so I was thinking, and I started climbing up this thing from Rosy Finch Lake. So I climbed up all that, and I switched over sides. But yeah, at first I was going to go up that and contour around, but then I saw this, and I was like, oh, that's Shadow Relief Pass right there. So I'm just going to head up that direct, all the way up that. Originally, I was going to be traversing across all that, and yeah, looking back, I think that was a bad idea for me to try that one, but I think we can make it up this. Yeah, this lake is unnamed. It's beautiful though. I had half a thought to camp here, but I think I'm going to go over Shadow Relief Pass right now. Which is right up there. That's where we're going. progress has been made on Shadow Relief Pass. Getting real close to the top. Oh yeah. Shadow Relief Pass. Thank goodness. All right. That's the lake basin I'm gonna camp in tonight. Hey, I'm on Shadow Relief Pass. I'm feeling good. For a while there, I thought I wasn't going to make it up to this. Ooh, that was tough. Straight ahead there is Bighorn Pass, like exactly center. And the smaller lake is that small kind of tarn, and the larger lake is Rosy Finch Lake that I dropped down to a little while ago. Okay, here's the opposite side of Shadow Relief Pass I'm about to descend into. So I'm going to be camping down in these lakes here. I'm not sure which one, but I'm thinking, I don't know. There's a bunch. Kind of scanning around with my camera. But any of those lakes would do. Make our descent. Not easy, but easier than coming up. Shout of relief indeed. This is way easier than what I've been hiking the rest of the day. Alright, that's the easy side of Shadow Relief Pass up there. I just descended. So now we're entering this lake's basin. This lake's basin is only about a half mile or a quarter mile, I don't know, away from the Fish Creek Trail. But it's supposed to have a real deep wilderness feel to it. So the hardest part of the trip is over, which was Hopkins Pass, climbing to Laurel Lake, climbing over Bighorn Pass, and then over Shadow Relief Pass. The only big pass we have left now is McGee Pass, and that one has a trail. That one's class 1. Pretty sure I see good camping right in here. I don't even know which lake this is. I haven't checked my map yet. But it's in the area I wanted to be. So we're gonna check it out. One last look. at the, I don't know what you call this, the terminal descent from the north side of Shadow Relief Pass. Guys, you're never gonna believe this awesome campsite I found. It's like perfect. Here's that descent I just made. And yeah, I'm gonna set my tent right here and camp at this lake. This lake, which is unnamed. But it's a beaut. Camp is set up for night 3. This is my camp. I'm just filtering water right now. Tomorrow I think I will be heading up to the right to McGee Pass. There's my camp again, on the bottom. Yeah, so this here is what I descended. And you can't even see it from here, but Shadow Relief passes that direction. So I want to talk about the trip so far. It's been really interesting. These cross-country passes seem to just go straight up. I mean, you're climbing at frequently a 35 to 45 degree angle. And sometimes there's little trails, and other times there's nothing. Today I had it in me to just like walk across the mountain range, basically. That's what I was thinking the route from Bighorn Pass to Shadow Relief Pass was going to be. And it wasn't like that at all. So I found what I thought was a route up to connect Bighorn to Shadow Relief. And this is from Roper's Sierra High Route book. He talks about how once you hit Bighorn Pass, you drop down about 75 feet, and then you kind of cut across and try to contour. I was encountering like car-sized boulders, and that kind of boulder field, it was turning into actual climbing. So I was like, well, this is supposed to be a Class 2 pass. Why am I having to do all this scrambling if this is supposed to be a cross-country pass? And what a lot of books won't tell you is that the approaches to a lot of these passes can be more difficult than the passes themselves, because you're hiking through complicated kind of granite mazes that frequently cliff out. So you got to pick the right way, and if you don't, you can cliff out and you have to turn back around. And that's what I found myself doing that about 3 or 4 times today, just trying to route find across from one point to another. So I'm scrambling on these boulders, and I realize something's wrong. Like, this isn't the right spot. I'm not supposed to be here. And in the process, I actually scraped up my knee pretty good. Anybody who's done this kind of hiking knows that it's when you're in those boulders, your heart is just racing, because you think at any moment one of these boulders could give, and my foot could sink in, or I could fall. and when you're on that kind of terrain, it's a no-fall zone for sure. So I reluctantly turn around. I'm like, this isn't right. Maybe, I'm looking down, I'm looking through the terrain, I'm looking at Rosy Finch Lake, and I'm like, well, it looks like I can get down there, and then it looks like there's other terrain I can kind of cut across and hike back up somehow. But man, that just made the hike so difficult, because you're gaining all that elevation getting up to Bighorn Pass, and now only to just lose it all by dropping down to Rosy Finch Lake. Which Rosy Finch Lake was cool. I almost camped there, but I was like, well, no, I want to do this trip the way I planned it. So yeah, I had to do all that climbing all the way back up to Shadow Relief Pass, and that was the smart decision. It was a lot more work, but it was a far safer route. And so I don't know. Maybe somebody who's done that hike before can tell me in the comments, because it's a part of the Sierra High Route. That whole section from Laurel Lake up to Bighorn Pass and across to Shadow Relief Pass and to basically where I'm at right now, This is on the Sierra High Route. And so people have definitely done these passes many times. And so I just think it's really interesting how you can read a description over and over and think that you kind of got it down and kind of know what it's going to be like when you get out there. And then when you get out there, it's just nothing like that, and you're just like, wow, I'm going almost vertical here. Anyway, the plan for the rest of the trip, which is probably going to be either 2 or 3 days, so it'll be 5 or 6 day trip. I'm going to head down this lakes basin to, I think it's Tully Lake. And once I'm at Tully Lake, there's a way to contour around and get out of this lakes basin and connect up with the McGee Creek Trail, the same one that we started on day 1. And my plan is to eventually take that over McGee Pass back to Big McGee Lake. And then from there, I will hike out the same way I came in. Anyway, this campsite is awesome. When I got here, I was like, I understand now why it's called Shadow Relief Pass, because you come down that thing, and it's not hard at all coming down it compared to the way up. And then you're met with these awesome kind of almost 5-star campsites. See, I was done at like 2 p.m., so I've just been hanging out, which is nice because yesterday was just... I had to pull out all the stops for yesterday. That was rough. Anyway, I've been talking too long. See you guys tomorrow. Time to hike for day 4. And so, yeah, last night's camp was cool. It was a nice shady spot. So, yeah, I had a good night, ate a lot of food. And now it's time to head down towards Tully Lake. That's going to be a cross country. And then I'm going to hit the McGee Creek Trail, same trail we came in on. And eventually I'm going to go over McGee Pass, which is looming right in front of me right now. And then we're gonna get back to Big McGee Lake and camp there again tonight to finish out this loop. That up there is Shadow Relief Pass. What I hiked down yesterday. And those trees right there, a little grove, is where I camped last night. Oh, some really nice camping over here. There's Shadow Relief Pass on the right. So I'm just making my own way down here. Don't know what I'm gonna find, but it does look a little bouldered. There's different ways you can take. Some are better than others. It's all swampy in here. Might want to cross back to the other side. We could just about see McGee Pass through there. And this is just a small pool that's going into Tully Lake. Tully Lake is just over that edge, that lip right there. But we're going around the far side of Tully Lake. There should be a route that gets me over this ridge here and down into where Fish Creek runs on the McGee Creek Trail, and that way I can get up to McGee Pass. All right, this is the direction I'm headed. Straight down through there. And this is Tully Lake. Tully Lake. Looky, we got a trail now. This is the trail around Tully Lake. And I'm only like about 500 feet from the McGee Creek Trail. About to turn right and go up to McGee Pass. Wow, very cool. We got to cross somewhere around here. Crossing there. That's looking back towards the direction of last night's camp. And trail goes through here. So this here is the upper part of Fish Creek. Okay, I've reached the McGee Pass Trail, Creek Trail, whatever the heck it's called. I got a lot of steep climbing to do now. This is cool. This is going to be an awesome view up here. Check this out. That out there is Shadow Relief Pass. That's what I just scented yesterday. You can almost make out the area where I camped. Way out there. And just this epic view has opened up. McGee Pass is just coming into view. That looks tough. About to have a really good view of Red Slate Mountain. Check this out. It's Red Slate Mountain. There. McGee Pass is up that way. And this is Fish Creek. Red Slate Mountain, McGee Pass. Red Slate Mountain is just this massive pyramidal shape. That's the way I'm headed. And this amphitheater is completed by our final loop around of Red and White Mountain. Now we do the real climb. All right, there's the Red and White Mountain. Here's the upper part of Fish Creek. taking a break. My pack's off in there. Check out this view, guys. Worth the climbing. This is the way we're going. Up yonder. I'm on some switchbacks now. Going up, up, up. That's looking back where I came from. A lot of switchbacks. And I'm only 1/3 through the switchbacks. Really interesting geology out here. Ooh. Alright guys, there's McGee Pass. The last set of switchbacks is up there. So, pretty high up, I think 11,500 something, 11,600, I don't know. We have finished our loop almost around Red and White Mountain. Just this red Mars rock all the way up to the top, I think. Probably got another 7 or 8 switchbacks to go. Almost there, almost to the top of McGee Pass. All right, one last look down into Fish Creek Basin. I'm shooting this from the top of McGee Pass. Here's Red Slate Mountain. Let's look at what we're descending into. Wow, check out these views. Wow. Got a bunch of switchbacks to descend now. I hope they're not too steep. But yeah, this is the way we're going back down towards Big McGee Lake. Just look at the color detail in these mountains. You wouldn't expect to see anything like this in the High Sierra. This looks like something more out of like southern Utah with the red rock. It's really interesting. Guess that's why it's called the Red and White Loop. And McGee Pass is up that way. Amazing things. Just keeps getting better. So you can see the tiny cornice of Hopkins Pass, the pass we did on day 2, just right over there. See that tiny little cornice at the top of that pass there? That's Hopkins Pass, what I went over on day 2. Here's the awesome red and white cliffs to the left of my view going down. This is really interesting geology out here. I'm really glad I did this loop because it's just like nothing else I've ever hiked before. That's Little McGee Lake down there. Looks like we're probably going to be descending more switchbacks. So here's Little McGee Lake, nestled under the auspices of Red and White Mountain. We have looped around almost entirely. And have more switchbacks. All right, a last look at McGee Pass up there. They descended all of that red rock. And I'm about to depart from Little McGee Lake. I'm heading over a little rise. And so we're gonna do that now. Get down to Big McGee Lake. All right. Big McGee Lake. I'm gonna camp where it's more accessible this time. Things should start to look familiar here, especially right there. Getting back to Big McGee Lake down there. How gorgeous is this? Back to Big McGee Lake. I'll be camping soon. Here's looking back the way I came from. That was a big descent. Hey, maybe this is a familiar sight. You should see where I camped on night one right over there. I think I'm just gonna head on over back to that spot because it's not far at all, and I won't be bothered there by any crowds. So I was just checking out the southwest shore of Big McGee Lake because I didn't go down here on day one at all. So yeah, it's cliffed out, so I have to go back the way I came from to get out of here, because otherwise I would just go around the shoreline, because the trail out back to the car is on the other side of the lake. It looks like there's tons of good camping over here, but what's annoying is I have to climb my way back out if I do that. So I'm gonna go back a very short distance, and there's some stringer creeks really close to some good camping just over here, and then I don't have to drop down to the lake and then climb my way back out tomorrow. Where will I set my tent up? That's the water I was talking about. Oh, home sweet home. Awesome. Camp 4 set up. I think it might rain tonight. I've just barely finished setting up camp, but I got a pretty awesome view. Decided to do a storm pitch because I think it's gonna rain tonight. I've been getting in-reach forecasts because I upgraded to the unlimited plan. I do that for big trips. And so that's $50, and that gives you unlimited weather forecasts because they used to cost money, but recently Garmin changed it so that they just cost a text message from your plan. So if you have unlimited texting on your plan and weather is just a text, then you have free weather forecasts in the backcountry, which is pretty sweet. So it keeps telling me different stuff though. It's gonna rain tonight, it's gonna be clear all night, it's gonna be clear all day tomorrow. No, now it's gonna storm tomorrow at 12. Just sounds to me like a typical monsoon pattern. So the mosquitoes over here are surprisingly bad. And that's weird because the night one when I camped at Big McGee Lake, there were no issues with mosquitoes at all. Maybe it's my proximity to that meltwater pool or something. But it's late September, and you usually don't get bad mosquito problems in late September in the Sierra. So anyway, yeah, it's the similar view to night one. So I won't be filming anything tomorrow, I don't think, because day 5 is just hiking on out via McGee Creek, which is the exact same thing I hiked on day 1, just in reverse. Closing thoughts on this trip. This was a really cool route, very adventurous. Bighorn, Grinnell Lake, Shadow Relief Pass, that whole day 3 was spectacular in terms of views and difficulty and just that feeling of accomplishment. There were some route finding challenges, but I got through it. And I gotta say, Hopkins Pass was really interesting. It was very difficult. But anybody who's in good hiking shape with a head for heights can probably do it because it has a trail. Other than that, I thought today was super cool, surprisingly cool. I thought McGee Pass was a really interesting hike. That red and white rock is just spectacular out here. Like nothing I've ever seen in high mountains. So that's going to conclude this video. Like if you like, and subscribe for more. See you next time. Hi everyone, it's day 5. Just making my way out. It's just some bonus footage. It's a beautiful morning out. I think it's gonna storm not that long from now, as you could probably see. It's like when you're looking at these, red formations, you're like, what? Is this mountains in California, or is this like, I don't know, Bryce Canyon in Utah? It has that look to it. It's really interesting. I don't think I mentioned before, but aside from day 1, I haven't seen any people except for there was just one couple going out the other way, going up Shadow Relief Pass. Man, it's been a while since I've had a trip where it was this much of a deep wilderness feel, not seeing any people hardly. I'm close to the trailhead still. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, everybody.